I'm your host, Deani P., and you're exactly where you need to be. This ain't your average woman talk podcast. This is Potty Mouth, where grown-ass women come to spill the truth, sip the tea, and talk all the things nobody told us about. Friendships, we go there. Aging, we own it. Leveling up every episode. From heartbreak to hair breakage, from boss moves to body changes, we're unpacking the messy, the magical, and everything in between. Real talk, real women, real good tea. New episodes bi-weekly, unfiltered, unbothered, and unmissable.
What keeps me attached to you is just your journey. Like, I feel like you're so cool to have moved to fucking Mexico. Like, what the fuck? And did like this whole other thing with your life. Like, that is so cool. That's so brave. Like, to me, I feel like I saw it as such a brave move to do that, because if I had the time, maybe I ever could, but if I had the time and had no kids, I could have done like a passion project like that. I feel like that for you, maybe that was a passion project. You seem so passionate about it that you moved to a whole different country, learned the language, and like did something totally different than what you were expected to do.
Welcome to another episode where we talk about women in friendships. We're unpacking that and everything in between, balancing it all, embracing our uniqueness, our individuality, while conditioning our responsibility and accountability of sisterhood and friendships. I've noticed that we've never really been taught about maintaining or maintenance of friendships between women. So I really want to get into that and see how we can combat this generation we're in where women are lonely. We don't have the friendships we used to have. And who do we have here today?
My name is Kenya. I wear a lot of hats, but right now I'm a mother of 4. I recently took a break from work. I'm usually a nurse on my other side. But yeah, I'm a 34 now. I just turned 34, a 34-year-old young woman trying to figure out life, trying to do it through friendships, through God, through my sisters, help me to figure this life out. And I'm so glad you picked me for this topic, because it has resonated so much with my growing and what I've been doing, that I've had to call friends in, I've had to rely on other women around in my circle. And I think this is amazing that you get to bring all of us together and try to figure out like make a blueprint of friendships in our lives right now.
Right. Because and successful. I want to say successful.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because life in the 30s is very different than making friends in high school.
Oh, we're going to dig into all of that. We're going to get into all of that. So the first question I'd like to ask people within your friendship lineup, what's your title in that? Are you like the crazy friend, the badass friend, the goofy friend? Like, what would you say?
I think right now I'm the calm, responsible friend. I was the other one for a very long time, and it's different to be on this side, but I feel like I'm kind of like a hype woman to my other friends. You could do it, you could do anything, you could do like this, look at me, I've done it, I feel like I'm that type of friend.
I like that. I like the hype woman. Okay. And I'm proud that you made it too, because I know you had to put the baby to sleep before you got on here.
So like luckily my husband got the day off, because they start their 4-day weekend for Memorial Day or something like that. So I was like, I didn't have to drive to Stockton to leave with my mom. I was like, great. He didn't even go down for the nap. I was like, leave the house. I know, because I was like, oh, I'm to like push it back, or I don't know. And my husband's like, no, it's okay. Just do it. Like,
oh, I like him. Go ahead, baby. Okay, so the evolution of female friendships over the years, taking on this role. You're a mother of 4. You're married. You got a career. You got all these things. So what would you say is the differences from like your friendships back then and what they are now?
So I thought about this question, and like I feel like I need to say like a little background where how I grew up and like what my circle of women looked around me while I was growing up, and I think that's how I evolved to the friend that I am now, or like how I choose friendships now, and because basically it's going to be a transaction, whether I give you my time and you give me advice, or like we kind of do that for each other as a friendship. So I feel like me making those friendships now looks very different than what it looked back I want to say high school because I feel like in high school, that's when I started, like, that's when friendship meant a lot. You know, like, I feel like in high school is a period where you rely more on friends than you do on parents or like other family members. You feel like nobody understands you except for your friend. And I feel like I'm comparing it to that. But the way I was brought up by a single mother, and I had three sisters. So it was four of us with a single mother. And, you know, she never had time. She never had time to sit and chat and do everything because she always had to work. And we were never that close. I was mostly close with my two other cousins, and one of them's my age, one of them's slightly younger than us. And we did everything together. We told each other like mostly everything. We got into a lot of trouble, but everybody will tell us everything that we were doing wrong, but nobody will tell us like, sit down, I'm gonna tell you exactly how it's supposed to go. Or like, you know, like nobody gave us that like nobody had that plan set in mind. And I feel like that's where we felt so misunderstood. Like you just feel like nobody gets it and everything's against you, and like it's so tough. So when it was just me and my cousins, you know, we relied on each other, but we were the same age. So she didn't know any better than me, you know, like
that was
if anything, if anything, my younger cousin, like she would experiment something first and she'd be like, oh, you guys need to try it. Like she would, you know, the younger one was going to try, and it was such a mess. And I feel like after we were in middle school together. So when we moved to high school, like everybody went their separate ways, and I had to remake friendships. And it was like, what I like bringing into what I had in middle school. So they didn't really last that long. And I feel like in high school, it was mostly like, let's do this together. Let's go to this party together. Let's do that. Like I never checked in my friends to see how they were doing. And it's so dumb. But like, I feel like that's when we needed each other emotionally the most, I guess. Like if I would have told my friend like, hey, I'm feeling like this. Have you ever felt like that? Like, and they would have been like, oh shit, like we can look into something and see if we can feel better together. Making friends back in the day was just about kicking it, hanging out. If you had a car, you know, like it was just like utilizing each other to have a good time, and not really like
it was good times. It was good times. It was good times.
Yeah,
even though there were crazy times.
Times. So when we were all 16, everybody, they all got pregnant except for me. So then I was just like, all of my good friends had kids, and like that looked very different. And I feel like in a way, because I did all of my crazy experimenting then, by the age when I was, before even I was 21, I was like so over the party scene. And that's when making friendships started to change, because when I had my daughter, I was 22. And so I couldn't hang with the same people, you know, like it was different. Like I couldn't just leave and then come back because I had a daughter. So then those friendships started to kind of fade away because it didn't look the same. I couldn't accommodate my crazy friendships with my mom life now. Yeah.
Okay. So now you're kind of navigating the different stages of your life between friendships with all the responsibilities and the priorities that you have now and the life changes. What does that look like for you now with your friendships?
So I've made a lot of friendships now are based on nursing school. And I feel like because when I was in nursing school, you know, I had no other life. And, but I feel like even my single nursing friends are on the same level. Like they understand the family life. They understand that I can't always make it. They understand that I could come and then I can, then I have a husband to like also provide for. And like, I feel like we click more as to people who don't understand that. Like, and then I would just feel like judged in a way, like, oh, well, why can't you leave your kids with your husband? You know, or like they kind of get it. But but also like at the same time, it's like now that I have two babies at the house, is like if I'm gonna go anywhere, well, I'm bringing the kids, and they're okay with it. You know, like you have to be okay with it, and I'm not gonna get judgy eyes or like something, or like I feel like I'm interrupting. Like I have to understand that. So if I'm even gonna take the time to even go see a friend, because you know, just giving somebody the time, it has to be something that's gonna benefit both of us. Like that is gonna be a meaningful meeting up, like catching up, whatever. Other than that, everything is texting and calling here and there.
When you have the spare time. You're a mother of 4, you have a husband, you have a challenging career, you have all these. I ain't got time.
Yeah.
right? Like, I don't
Yeah.
got time because I haven't seen you like in person.
Every time I do see like a friend or something, I just cherish that moment, and it's like whatever, it might be like accumulation, like, go, what did you do on Tuesday? Oh, what happened to this? Oh, like, like I like questionnaires like that. But it's like at the same time, I meet up with them, and I have so much respect because they gave me the time, because they're taking the time to listen to me. I take the time to listen to them. And it's like you see them more with like bright eyes, I guess you could say, like, girl, like I haven't seen you so long. Like it's just more exciting, I guess. Like I hadn't seen you since that one hiking trip, and I was so excited to see you because before then I hadn't even seen you in hike along. But it's totally understandable because it's not like we're not seeing each other for other reasons, like we're busy. And I feel like that makes it even better that we're actually being productive.
We're going to go into the history of like how we met and stuff like that. And I remember we met at in Stockton at what school was that? What school were we going to?
Delta College.
Delta College, and we were doing the prereqs for nursing.
Yeah.
And I think it was a chemistry class we were in.
It was anatomy
biology?
With Gibson.
Yeah. Oh, was it? Okay. I was like, what class was that? And you followed through and got your nursing, and I'm like so proud of you. And like that, just like I followed your whole journey.
That's crazy because I think we've been friends for more than 10 years because I did nursing for, school itself took me 6 years. I've been a nurse for 4 years. So
wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I knew you before with I think you only had one kid at the time.
I did. I did. It was only Camila. Yeah. And even then, like, like meeting people. So like college for me was an experience. I love college. I feel like everybody should go to college because they make you take all these classes, and like for me, like speech, I would have never taken speech if it was up to me, like, and that's where like, I don't know. I feel like I never knew I could do that. I never knew I could give a speech in front of so many people. I never knew I could debate with other people. Like, I feel like I found so much more of myself in college, and it was great. But I did it with the kid, So it's like I went to school, I did homework. I went to school, came home, took her, did homework over the night, then did the same thing all over again. And it was just nice to see everybody else's journey. Like you were already a mom then too, and you were heading this way and I was heading that way, but we met like at a point, and it's so crazy because I still have other friendships too that I met them at that point of our lives. And it's like to see us now, it's like, wow, like I thought you were going to be a nurse,
I know, totally different. Me too. I was working as a pharmacy tech while going to nursing school. So I still have friends that are pharmacists now. I have friends that are nurses. As now from there, I started doing more mental health and wellness. And so all that goes hand in hand. It ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, all that is medical field for sure. It's kind of weird not to know somebody in the medical field now because it has so many branches. Like, it's crazy, like how many things go into health, which is good that we're moving into that wellness period and we're actually acknowledging people's mental health.
What would you say keeps us connected? Because I'm like, I could be your mother.
Okay. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, I have so many friends who are older. Like, I have a friend, her name's Sandy. I'm gonna send her this so she can see it. She is 50s, 60s. And
wow, she's older than me.
I could go to brunch with that girl, like, and I like that. I like looking up to people who are like, oh, how did you do with your kids this time? Because I'm like, how are you not so broken over the teenage years? Because my daughter's 11 and I'm already getting the attitude, like, and so we resonate with that. One of my good friends too, her kids are older than me. She's younger than me, but her kids are older than me. And I feel like we connect because of that, because she's been through it already. And so like, just like the mothering of it. And I'm always the one that I'm like, okay, well, if you got it through it like that, then how do I get there? Like, or what can I take from your experience? So then I could cut, like, I could get some shortcuts, because figuring it out on your own is just going to take you a very long time. And I feel like,
especially mothers with daughters. that you need a community of women who've been through that. I don't have any daughters, but just watching all the women I know that are raising young women, and like you said, your daughter's about to be the preteen and the whole attitude, and you've been through that. You understand how vital it is to be connected to certain people and how it molds your mentality as you grow older.
Yeah.
So
and
blessings to you, girl. I'm praying for you.
Thank you. And also, I like the maturity level. Like, I feel like when I had Camila, I matured like that. And like, I didn't, if I don't know, I feel like I connect more to people who are my same age, older than me, or like basically have been through more than just like women who are single and are still figuring out. I could connect to them too, but I just feel like I resonate more. We're like, oh yeah, well, I have 4 kids and I'm a wife and this and that, and it's like, oh, me too. I feel like I was just expected to get a career and take care of my kid now, and you were like, no, like I could do this and I could do it like that, and I look up to you for that because it takes such a creativity, imagination, and how can you not, like after knowing you, how can you not be hooked to looking at you? Like, I just remember your energy when I met you. I was like, yeah, she's so cool. Like, like just like the outlook that you had in life, like attracts other people, and it attracted me. And like, I can't look away now. I need to see this whole thing through. Yeah.
Same for me too. And I feel like what keeps us connected is I always feel like people are placed in your life for a purpose and for a reason. And there's something bigger than us that we need to do together. And just hearing you speak, say, I got a career now, but there's other things I need to be doing. And it could be anything. And, we're connected like through mental health. We're connected through the medical field. We're connected through that. Like, girl, universe is waiting for us to create something.
Yeah. And I feel like I feel that calling too. Like I always said, like when I become a nurse, when I'm older, I would love to do mission work in other countries and stuff like that, because I always feel like my purpose is to do something greater than just myself and my family, like help other people, or like just create something that helps other people, or just be in service. Like I feel like that's why I love nursing too, because it's like a service type of job, and it's kind of like being a mom. Like you're always going to be doing these things for other people, like your children. And but when I do it for other people at work, like it's such a rewarding job, and just the job itself, it's so rewarding that I that's why I like doing it. And I feel like because you do it because you're trying to serve other people, like I just think that's so cool.
The societal expectations and pressures and stereotypes, how have you handled them, and what have you learned, especially being Latina, or I don't know how you identify, but Mexican or whatever. Like the time we're in is crazy for people of color.
Well, I'm a first generation, but I came in here illegally. I recently, just last year, was it last year? I got my visa, and that's how I was in Puerto Vallarta. Remember? And so I was brought here as a child. I was 3, and so I've been a DACA recipient my whole college career, and like that's how I was working as a nurse. So all this stuff going on right now, it's like, I mean, it just kind of pisses you off, but at the same time, like I feel like my feelings of being angry are like to the side, and like I think like there's been opportunities for like immigrant children to like get higher in life and get higher in like education and stuff like that. And I think that's where a lot of the success is going to rely on like, do you want it or do you not? Because I remember when I was doing DACA, it's like I wanted it. I did not want to be working part-time job at Jack in the Box and Olive Garden. Like, I wanted to do something different with my life. And I was like, when they brought out DACA, I was like, perfect. I need that so I could go to school, so I could get a career, because that's all I needed. I just needed a work permit. Like legal status here. I would always tell my husband, like, legal status here, I don't really care. I could move to Mexico, and then from Mexico, I could travel to other countries, but either way, now I have a visa, and now I could travel to other countries. And now I'm here to kind of I'm here permanently, and like I don't really have to worry about that. But I've always like had this fire inside me to like always break barriers. And so because because of my childhood, where I would always be getting into trouble and stuff like that, I feel like I was always disappointing my parents. And so I wanted to like really prove them wrong. Like this is not it. Like, just because I'm messing up right now, does not mean I'm done for the rest of my life. You know, I was so young.
So you think that was what, cultural? Feel like they strive so much when they come here to reach certain status that when their kids, you know, grow up, you grew up more in the United States. So you have both cultures ingrained in you. Do you feel like that was where the pressure came in because of cultural norms?
Yeah, definitely. Because there would always be like, in Mexico, girls are not supposed to be doing this, and you know, boys do that part and stuff like that. And I didn't like that. I'm like, the thing I don't like about Mexican culture is the machismo. Like, it's been there, it's been done for so long that it's annoying to me, especially as a woman. So when my dad, I'm the oldest daughter of 4, and so he was just my dad, you know,
wow.
and he would always tell me like this and that and this and that, and I'm like, nope, I'm not. And I would always just push back, like kind of go against the grain with him, because like those expectations were so far, like it was just so annoying. So I always knew that I had to prove him wrong some way. I had to prove him wrong, because he literally like just like laid out the rest of my life by me just not coming home like, one night, and it's like that's not gonna happen. And I remember when I got pregnant with Camila, you know, me and my husband, he was my boyfriend then, and he was like, well, now you have to get married. And I'm like, I am not gonna get married just because you say so, you know? We didn't end up getting married, but later, but I just like, no, and I'm gonna keep proving you wrong. So like my me getting a degree in anything like was gonna prove them wrong. And that's why I really wanted to go to school. And that's when I got my DACA. I'm like, this is gonna like, I'm good, I'm set up, I have a freaking work permit to fucking go to school and to get a job, you know, like to get a career. I don't have to be doing the little part-times here and there. Like, I think I'll be made by then. And I remember like when this came out, a lot of people didn't take advantage of it. And I was like, why wouldn't you? You know, get a license out of it. Like, why wouldn't you? And I feel like we've been given opportunities, and we just need to take advantage of that, or at least use that to get up there, you know, somewhere where you're going to be set.
That made me want to ask you real quick. Embracing your uniqueness, because it sounds like that's what got you to where you are, and your individuality. What was it that actually helped you find your voice, your style, and your path? Like, what could you contribute that to?
I feel like because I was so shy when I was younger that I would just like things happen. You know what I mean? Like it was just passive. Like things would just happen. And so I was like, how do I really want my life to look like? And I think ever since I became a mom, that helped out a lot too, because it's like how my life goes is going to like, how do you say? It's going to impact her life a lot on how I carry myself. And I feel like ever since I became a mother, like it's no longer just about me, you know, like I think before that I would let things happen, but it's no longer just about me. It's about me and my daughter now, you know, and it's like, what am I going to show her? Like I would see the relationship between me and my mom, and it's like, she basically just let life happen to her. And so now I'm here, like, you know, I'm starting here instead of me starting up here. So whatever I do in my life, it's going to set my kids up even higher, you know, because.
So it sounds like taking control of the things you can control.
Yes,
pretty much.
Because I can't control others. So I can only control what I do. And you can't always put responsibility or blame on others. It's like most of the things led up to you this far now, you know, and like subconsciously or consciously, you make those decisions. And so I feel like that plays a role in things that I decide to do and how I think and how I want to plan out the rest of my life, because it's not just me, you know, it's about them too.
Right.
And it affects everything around me, you know, like it's like a little ripple effect of what I do. And then it just goes around, and it's my circle around and how it affects them. And I feel like that's why I am the way I am, I kind of in a thing. But I think it all started when I became a mother, because before that, I was just going with the flow. I was just like, yeah.
You took that role and that responsibility or assignment very serious. Definitely. From the beginning. Then like, okay, I have a whole life that I need to mold, not really mold, or just help guide through. And you thought back at like how the things that your mother wasn't able to do that you wanted to do, and you wanted to have a different experience, you know, like that. You know, you don't have to answer this question. It's kind of off the path. How is your relationship with your mom? Because a lot of people don't like talking about it, but I'm going to ask you, like, if you want to answer that.
No, I definitely would like to talk about my mom. She's my rock. She's my best friend, but it wasn't always like that. And I feel like, you know, when you have, I don't know if this will happen for you, but I remember when I had Camila, I was like, wow, now I totally get my mom. She was right the whole time, you know, like she was right the whole freaking time. And for some reason, I just, you know, dismissed her all the time. Like, and I feel like when I had her, like we just cried together for so long. And I was like, I'm so sorry about everything I ever did, you know, like to hurt you. And I don't think I would ever do those things to hurt her again. Like it's just like this thing and like bit me in the butt. And I was like, damn, like, oh my God. But she's, because of her, I was able to get my career. Like I wouldn't let anybody else watch Camila. Like she was like, she was like, I can't give you the money or I can't give you anything else for you to go to school. But I could give you my time and I could watch your babies while you go get it. And I'm like, okay. So she did. She watched my kids. Like it took so long. She watched my kids, and if it wasn't for her, I would not be a career woman.
Right. And then you could, having someone you trust and love that you know your child's safe with helps you rest and be able to focus on the things you need to focus on. Like having kids, how you apologize to your mother, I think so many women can relate to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I've done the same thing with mom. I'm like, oh, girl, I apologize. I am so sorry.
Humbles you really good, for sure. Like, I didn't know it all. I didn't know it all at 16. You know? Yeah, but no, yeah, like she gives me such a comfort. Like, even in my last postpartum, well, I'm still postpartum, but this last time I had my child, I had him in November. She came here and stayed, and I felt so relaxed that she was just here because they know, like nobody else could take care of you like your mom. She just knows. She knows when I was thirsty. You know, she knew when I needed a snack. She knew that I needed to go lay down. Like, I mean, my husband was a huge help, but not like my mom. You know, like she was just. She knows, like, oh yeah, you know what? You need your pill at this time. I'm like, oh yeah, I totally forgot about my pills or something. She just knows.
So do you put your mom in your friendship category then? Like it didn't used to be like that, but now it is. Like that's someone can talk about anything with, and you guys share stories and experiences.
We do share a lot of stories and experiences. I feel like there's still some stuff that we have to work through in order for us to talk about everything and anything. But we're on the phone like 5 times a week or so. Like we're just talking about random stuff. Like she is one of my friends, but I still have a lot of stuff to work through so that we could get to the point of like clearing everything out. I guess clearing all of the wrinkles out.
Right. Which happens over time.
Yeah, and it's something I definitely want to explore because my grandmother is here with us. She was in Mexico. She came back, so she's living with my mom. So I feel like talking to those two right there, I feel like will help me so much. You know, like understand why I started here instead of over here. You know what I mean? Like,
woo, that'd be awesome if we can all get in one group and I can hear y'all. Like, okay. Okay. So outside of your mother, who have supported you through your process? What have your friends been for you, and vice versa, like through your challenging times? Like who would you say besides your mom has been that for you?
I feel like my sisters as well. I feel my sisters were meant to be my built-in best friends because we weren't always close either. Between me and the youngest, it's 10 years apart, and between me and the second is 5 years apart. I was the only child for 5 years, and I feel like when my sister's name is Jennifer, when she was born, I felt so betrayed by my parents, you know, and I'm like, why would we, especially because she was such a crybaby, and I'm like, why would we do this to ourselves? You know, we were totally fine with just me here because I was the only child for 5 years, you know, but we've gone out of that. She's like my mother best friend. Like she's a mom. She became a mom very young, and I feel like ever since then we've become so much closer. But I feel like with my sisters, I could tell them anything, and when I need to vent, I could just call any of them, and it's like I could just start from the middle. I don't even have to start from the beginning. I could just start from the middle, and they're like, "Oh, she's talking about," you know, and
they get it, right? Do they have children of their own?
Yeah, they do. So it's four of us. Only three of us have kids. One of them still doesn't have children. But
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like if I was to plan a master plan and take over something, it will have to be with my sisters. I feel like they just get it. Like, when you're just they finish my sentences. Like our relationship is like that.
Wow.
But besides them, I feel like I've had a lot of nursing friends who I could like look to and be like, well, how did you do it? How did you even study for this? Like with all your kids and stuff like that. And another of my friends, I met her a long time ago, but I feel like we reconnected when I was on maternity leave because we just did like a bunch of stuff where she didn't have a job and we would just hang out all day. But I feel like our journey with God, our walk with God started together. And I feel like she's my go-to right now. Like I just send her random things and she'll be like, oh yeah, like, and we're trying to figure this thing out together because after all this time, I realized that I cannot do this life without God. Like I'm not gonna be able, like I'm just not. I've tried to fight it in the
and
past.
Come out sane, right?
Right. So that's I feel like my best relationship right now will be with God because I tell him anything and everything. And I feel like if he's with me, then I'm going to be okay.
That is, I agree with you. A lot of people try and figure it out without God. And that's fine. That's their journey. But I've noticed that people who look to something higher than themselves have a deeper understanding and connection, not only to themselves, but to other people, and their lives seem just a lot calmer. Less chaotic.
Because why am I going to do it out here by myself? Like, why? I am that type of person too that I'm like, oh yeah, no, yeah, give me your kid. I'll like, give me your problems. I'll solve them all. That was me all the time. And it's like, like I can't. Like, there came to a point where I was like, I can't, like I really, really, really can't. Like I feel like in these last, what is it, like 4 years, like my growth, like that's what I'm saying. Life in your 30s or life in my 30s has been very humbling, but I've done the growth, like the most growth I've ever done in my life has been in my 30s.
I love to hear that for you. Yes.
Yeah. And not to like, it's about women and everything, but I feel like I owe a lot of things to my husband as well, because that man has challenged me in so many ways. Like me becoming a nurse was his idea. He knew that we will have to hustle so much because we both come as first generation, we both come as first generation. When our parents retire, they don't have social security funds. They're going to have to rely on us. Everything's going to be on us. So he knew that whatever he was going to do in life, he had to make a lot of money in it. And I had to be second. And so he was like, the only two careers leading here in California are going to be electricians and nurses. And it's like, you have to be a nurse. Like, because you're going to make this much money and then I'm going to make this much money. Right. And I was like, I don't even know if I want to be a nurse. Like I was trying to go to school to be an accountant. Thank God I didn't. And so that out, but he would always push me. He's like, you could do it. You know how to do it. You're smart enough. Like, keep going. Like, don't just stop there. Like, just pushing me the whole time. And I'm like, in my head, like, so many times I feel like this guy thinks I'm like made out of steel or something. Like I am not. But if he wouldn't push me to grow that way or to just see life financially that way, like we wouldn't be, or I wouldn't be where I'm at right now thinking these things, And also like because of all that stuff, all that time, him pushing me. Now it's my reward too. He's like, now you get to stay home and raise the kids, and I'll just work because that should be your role. And I feel like now in my time in our marriage, we've been married for 14 years. It's so like now I feel taken care of. Like I feel like I just have to be a mom, like I just have to be a mom and a wife, and I don't have to worry about anything else. Like it feels really good. It feels like, I don't know, it just feels different
than any other time. You have that foundation to fall back on your career. Like you've built that, that nest. So that is beautiful. I love this story. Girl, this is a good one. Hello. I'm so proud of you guys. And you're still very young. Your husband, you guys are the same age?
He is 30. He's 36. Yeah, he's 36.
Yeah. About the same age.
We're the same age. So yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. You know what? I went on an intentional journey, right? seeking friendships for the past 7 years, outside of like you and everyone else that I really know, because I've known y'all for such a long time. And my experience with that has been that there's not a lot of women like us anymore when it comes to the friendship circle. People are really guarded. And the fact that you talked about giving a lot of who you are to your husband, you don't hear those conversations.
Yeah.
You don't hear people talk about my mom. Like, I apologize to my mom. My mom has been my rock. We're best friends now. You don't hear those conversations. People are really hating their husbands, hating their mothers, hating their sisters, their family members. It is amazing to hear stories like yours that like this still exists. It gives hope for people. You know what I mean? Like, girl, it's crazy.
I feel
What's
like
your experience though?
Yeah,
That?
same. Like there's so many, there's not even probably just my sisters and my one good friend that I could talk to them about my marriage, because other than that, it's like, why don't you get a divorce? Or why don't you do this? Or just take your kids and do this? Or why don't you put them on child support? And it's like, to me, that seems like the easy way out. And I've never been the person to take the easy way out. I love a challenge, like, and it's like, no, like I'm here for a reason, like I'm here for a reason. I believe it in my soul that I was supposed to meet that man and we're supposed to be together and we're going to see life until we're old. I'm going to be so mad if we don't. I'm just saying.
No, exactly.
But I've always like, no, it has to, like, there has to be a way. There has to be a way where we could fit together, where that could wait or this and that. But now that I am with my walk with God, it's everything happens for a reason. And sometimes you just gotta let go. Like I was the type of person that I will tell him, do the dishes. Oh, you don't do them like that? Well, then I'm gonna do it. No, just let go and let God, like just let go and let God. And then he will take care of it. And I feel like ever since I started this walk, I feel like I've seen a lot of my fruits. Everything that I put in has been given back to me. And it's really nice to see, because I supported him through his career and, and his different types of like experimental careers. And now, because I did that, now I could chill at the house and just be here with my kids. But if I wouldn't have done that, then I would have, I don't know, been somewhere else, still struggling, still trying to figure it out. And I've always said that I'm only made for one man. After this marriage, I don't want nothing to do with men. Like, no, like if I'm gonna give all my all and all my struggle and everything, it's gonna have to be to the father of my kids, because they deserve that, and I'm like, this marriage deserves that. And so, if I'm gonna go and just find myself another man and do it again, why? Like to me it doesn't make sense. But I like that. I like women who keep doing that. Like I have another friend who keeps looking for love, and I feel for her, because she deserves her happy ending. She's such a good friend. Like she's such a good person and such a great mom, and she deserves her happy ending. But for me, and I'm not saying this for everybody, because there's a lot of toxic relationship where you should leave, but I feel for us, there still has been like that time where like we could still work it out. And trust me, hasn't always looked like this. But I'm so glad that we're here now. And I
agree with you, because I tell people, my niece, we were talking and then we were talking about love and like our definition of love and stuff like that. And, I have a pretty close relationship with all my nieces. And one thing I always say to them is that like the difference between a marriage that lasts for a year or two and a marriage that lasts for 50 years, the only difference is the people that are married for 50 years, they just didn't give up. They dealt with everything that you dealt with, probably even more. There is no perfect union. And that's the thing with the friendships with women too. Like I feel like we as women, and this is just my opinion, we're so quick to give up on other women. We'll fight for our men, like to the death. But when it comes to other women and building that foundation and trying to build something successful, I'll say like your relationship with your husband, it's very successful. Why can't we do that with other women too? You know what I mean? Outside of, and that's what I've been searching for, just because it's a challenge. Like you said, I love challenges. Like I have a hard time with it. I have a hard time connecting to certain women. I have to have a woman that is strong minded. You have to be mentally strong to be my friend, because I'm very upfront. I'm very blunt. I like the same in return. And so if we can't share that and we can't reciprocate whatever it is that need to be reciprocated, what's going on here? You know what I mean? And I feel like that's something I see in you too. Like you're very strong, very upfront with your conversation. We've always been very transparent in our journeys. And I just love it. I love like the connection we have, even though, like you said, we haven't kicked it like that.
You know, I know we're so overdue. Super overdue.
You know what I'm saying? It's coming, girl. You know what? I never asked people if they want to ask me anything.
No, yeah, definitely. You're a very interesting person. This would be a waste to not ask you something. I just want to know, what is your drive to what keeps you going? Because I know you try to do a lot of like, and it's funny how you know what, first of all, before I even forget, I just want to thank you for even taking me into consideration to be part of this that you're doing, because I never think inspirational until somebody like you comes in, like, I just want to know how you did it and what you did and stuff like that. And then makes me feel good. It pours into my cup, you know, to be seen as an inspirational or a light of hope for other people. Because now that we just talked about my journey, it is very interesting. And I wish like this reaches somebody who could help, because it's like, just through it all, I just never gave up. You know, through it all, I just never gave up. And I knew that because I'm meant for greatness, that I was going to get there one day, even though the struggle looked really, really dark, you know? So just thank you for that. Just thank you for even pulling me out of this, because going through postpartum, you know, you kind of forget yourself. Everything's about the kids right now. Everything's about my husband. But you just been like, I need to know like about you and how you're here. And I'm just going to have a great day. I've been having a great week just because you even told me that I was going to be on this. So just thank you for that. But what I want to ask you is, what drives you to be this type of beacon of like light and other people, like another women, you know, like what drove you to be here to like find like, you know, I need to do something. Like, I feel like your mind's like, I need to do something to connect to this person, to that person, to like, she will be a great match with this person. Like, how did you end up being Damayanga?
Almost kind of like you said, I just let go. And for me, my journey was going to Mexico. And I feel in Mexico is where I found the God in me. I found God in me in Mexico. Now, it might sound funny to people, but it was really tapping out of like my cultural norms or society norms in the United States, and really just seeing life as this beautiful opportunity for what I don't know. You know what I mean? And I kind of don't have the responsibility that everyone else had. Like, you know, I wasn't married at the time. I didn't have hella children, you know, to take care of. And so I said it would be a shame for me not to take advantage of that. So I kind of got into this relationship, you know, that I was in with Yanga. And I really just followed him on his journey to experience him. You feel me? When I'm with someone, I don't want it to be about me. I want you to be you, and I want to experience you. So I started connecting to him. I started connecting to people like you. I started connecting to a lot of great people, and I'm seeing their journeys, and I'm like, dang, what's mine? I don't know. So I felt nursing wasn't for me for some reason. I don't know. I just felt like it wasn't for me. And so one day, just recently, I remembered what my niece told me. She was like, the relationship you have with people, it's like I've never seen before. Like, you love people. Like you when people are around you, you make them feel so good. And it's not like you're trying. So I think you should do something with people. And I was like, and I always want to be an entrepreneur. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start this journey because I know amazing women. Let's connect these amazing women and let's see what we can. That just kind of happened like that through this journey. Now, it's been 10 years though. So it's like it took me 10 years to finally click, and I'm just going with it. Whatever happens, happens, but I'm enjoying like sitting here speaking with you, learning about you even more. And I get to do this with other women. Like, come on. That's freaking amazing. So I don't know.
That sounds like a great career. And also like, I feel like that's one thing I've seen about you, that like not everything's about you. And that's such a beautiful thing, you know, that you're not selfish in that way. My daughter just said, hi, Leah.
That's all good. Hey. So yeah, we're almost done anyway. So like, this is the community I want to join. I want to create. This is the community that I would love to like grow and actually make it a real business, and I need support. Like you said, I can't do it on my own, and wherever anyone can fit in and whatever they can do, let's help each other. That's what it's about.
That is what, yeah.
And I feel like one more thing, women in the West Coast, living in Mexico for that long, I got to connect to a lot of women outside of the West Coast, mostly from the South or from the East Coast. And they're different. They have a different vibe, a different energy, a different connection. Mm-hmm. And I would love to see us do it here in the West Coast because we're different. You know what I mean? We vibe different. We move different. We talk different, And so my journey is to connect women from the West Coast and build something great for us. So
yeah, that's really cool. That's really dope because we need something like that, and just like to just keep hyping each other up, I guess, in a way, like where it's like everybody's journey looks different, but you're giving it your all and you're doing it in the right ways, and so nobody feels left out. Nobody feels like they have nobody to look up to, or like not even like somebody that looks like them to like be able to do it like that.
Exactly.
It's just like the little light behind that they need to just push them.
Exactly. I do want to highlight though, this is a group of elite women now. Don't think you could just be anybody walking into this circle, okay? We ain't doing that. There's an elite comes in different forms. It's not just a financial or material type of thing, It's a group of elite women who have done the work. You know what I mean? Yeah. Who have been through the process, who have started the journey, who have been through things that they can, help women get out of, or just are open to share. So that's just one thing I do want to highlight. Like anybody just can't come in this circle, because if you're bringing all that baggage and all that stuff with you, we don't want it.
Yeah, they haven't really done the work to get through that.
Yeah, so
I feel like that's another thing too. Like if you haven't done the work, I can't really relate. Like it is kind of hard to relate to people like that.
Yeah, and are you willing to listen? Are you willing to listen and hear other people, like really listen intentionally? Then we're for you. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. That's all, girl. And I thank you. We gonna connect. I'm gonna be reaching out to you because we have work to do. And anything you want to say before we head out, girl?
No, just thank you for having me, and just have a great day and a blessed day. And I pray that you get everything you want out of this journey, because it's been a long journey, but I see the fruit coming for you, and it's just so humbling to be here. Thank you for including me, and let's just, I don't know, I feel like it's a start to something great. Like let's just hope it goes.
I love it. Thank you too. Thank you for accepting this. I know it's not easy for people to, get in front of a camera and talk about their life and their journey, but thank you for your transparency always. Thank you for I think you're just amazingly gorgeous. You know what I mean? I saw one more quick. I was going through your Instagram, or was it Instagram? I think, and it was like, post yourself in 2020, and then you posted this.
Girl. Yes. And to think I was not in shape then, it was crazy to think now.
To me, I don't see a difference. 2020 to now, you look you're the same beautiful ball of energy, just gorgeous in every single way, naturally made up, whatever. I just wanted to that's what I wanted to tell you. Like, we're just so hard on ourselves as women. We are so critical.
We are. Why? It's so hard.
I don't know. But, it keeps us strong. So, all right, chica.